Alright, so today we're going to take a photo. This is from Tabernacle Schools in New Jersey, and we are creating a wrap for these windows. So we're going to turn this photo into a 10th scale template that we can put our artwork right into these windows. So one of the first things we do is just to kind of square everything up and make sure it's straight. Then we'll work on resizing it. So I'm going to go ahead and right click on this background layer, and I'm going to duplicate it. This will give me a copy to work on and one to kind of fall back on in case I mess it up. So I'm going to drag a few guidelines in here. Okay, and if you don't have these rulers, just Control R. That'll bring up your rulers. I'm going to throw a couple more of these in. Okay, so it's actually pretty straight. I'm going to work with maybe just some skewing, maybe a little bit of perspective to get this going. Okay, and really I could delete some of this, so I'm not working with quite such a large image. So I'm going to take a rectangular marquee, and I'm just going to grab, actually I don't even need that part of it. I'm going to grab this right here, and I'm going to do a layer via cut. Okay, and I'm going to turn that off. So now I just have this to work with, and I'm going to go edit, transform. I'm going to start with perspective. Okay, so it looks like that might fix some of our stuff a little faster. Okay, after that I'll probably do a little bit of skewing, maybe a little bit of rotating. So I'm going to transform, Control T. Okay, now if I go in and look, this still needs kind of skewed a little bit. And if I have to cut these out separately, I will. So let's go Edit, Transform, and let's skew this. Yeah, that looks good. See, I'm getting these closer to that guideline. Okay, I'll just keep working with this a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect. This is really going to be for visualizing the graphics for the customer. When we go to print this, we'll still make it our actual sizes. And just for reference, here's our sheet size that they sent us from Tabernacle. So these are these outside long windows, and each one is 42 1/4 wide and 38 tall. So we'll come back to this once we start to size stuff up. So again, we're just trying to straighten these out. Let's see how this looks. That makes me pretty happy. Those vertical lines look great. These are okay. I could probably use a little bit more work. Okay, but you know what? I'm actually pretty happy with that. Okay, so I'm going to go View, Clear Guides, and we get rid of these. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to just take a peek at what this image size looks like. So I'm going to go Image, Image Size. And we look at this. This is just probably an iPhone picture sent to us. So we're going to work in 10th scale at 720 pixels per inch. That way when we go to print, we'll ramp it up to 100% and it will end up being 72 DPI when we print, which will be just fine for this. It's going on window perf, and you're going to be looking at it from 30 feet away. So if I just add a 0 to that, now we're working in 720. Okay, give that a second. And we can start sizing some of these rectangles. So each window, 42 1/4 wide and 38 tall. So 42, I'm going to grab my marquee. I'm going to change that to a fixed size. Now, we said that that was 42 1/4 by 38. Okay, so 42 1/4 by 38. Okay, that will be 4.225. That's 42 1/4 in 10th scale. We just move that decimal point, and then 4.225, and this will be 3.8. Okay, now when I come out, okay, my marquee is that size. Okay, so what I usually do, this is how big one window is going to be. I'm going to make a new layer, and I'm going to fill that with just like a random color. So let's make this like a bright pink. Okay, and I'm going to drop the opacity down on this. So this is kind of like our goal, what we're shooting for. So I'm now going to take our image, and I'm going to Control T this. Keep sizing that till it starts to get pretty close, and now I can tweak it. Okay, and you'll see I'm going to have to drastically change our canvas size. Okay, and we'll crop this to make this look a little bit bigger. Now we know we're kind of at least going to fit everything in there. All right. Give it a second. We're working in a pretty gigantic file. When we go to print, again, we're just going to have these little chunks and panel it so that they can install it. This will take us a minute. Well, while my computer decides what we're doing, I'll come back to you. How about that? So I'll be back with second part once we get this together. Then we'll start tweaking it, and then I'll show you how to pull all the windows out and make it a working template.